Being a Student Live. I'm so excited to be back with you guys. We're going on our third week of these interviews, and they have been a blast to connect with some of my favorite people in the whole wide world, this team of presenters from our favorite company, SDE. Tonight is a very, very special interview because we're going to talk some different things tonight. We are joined tonight by someone you probably know if you've ever used YouTube in your classroom, but you might not know him by name. Tonight we're being joined by my friend and co-presenter. We actually present together. My good friend Pete Harry, who is the man, the myth, the legend behind the awesome website and YouTube channel, Harry Kindergarten Music. So we're going to talk to him and then talk about classroom management, music, reading, math, all kinds of things regarding music in your classroom. So everybody give a big welcome to my friend Pete Harry. Pete, it's great to see you. How are you?
I'm doing awesome. Thanks for letting me be here.
Yeah, we're so excited to see you in your classroom too. I know you kind of gave me a look around with the camera. It looks absolutely gorgeous.
Puppets and all 50 puppets. This is the real deal right here. This is a kindergarten classroom.
I'm digging that puppet too. That's awesome. Is he going to make an appearance and talk in the video tonight?
Possibly. We'll see how.
Perfect. Well, I kind of gave you a little introduction, but I know I didn't do it justice. So for those who might not know you, like I said, a lot of people I know you by your channel name. Tell us a little about who Pete Harry is as an educator.
Sure. My name is Pete Harry. First name Pete, last name Harry. I like to confuse people with my two first names. You know, first name that's a last name. I'm a current kindergarten teacher, and so I always feel like that gives me a little bit of credibility if I speak somewhere or if I tell someone about Harry Kindergarten on YouTube, because I'm in the classroom and I'm in my 13th year in a rural school in Pennsylvania. And I love what I do. I love to make music that people see on YouTube, but really it grows out of what I do in my actual classroom on a day-to-day basis, and it grows out of the needs that I have of real kids, real students, and real classroom situations.
Very cool. And I love that you mentioned that, because there are a lot of amazing, dance videos and things like that for kids, which are great brain breaks and whatnot, but your videos are a true learning experience. If that's the best way to put it, I don't know, but I know I've used your music a lot, and we've become friends through getting to know your channel and presenting. It really is a place for learning. It's not just, a dance or a brain break video, which they are. They're full of pepped up music, but I love it that you say it's a good learning experience too.
Yeah, definitely. And not that there's anything wrong with brain breaks, because that's developed really appropriate for kindergarten and early childhood age students. But for me, it's about content-rich songs that are also fun and engaging and catchy that kids and even parents can remember a lot. Can I mention one more thing?
Yeah, go for it.
So, as I always like to share with people, that my brother is also a kindergarten teacher, just because I think it's a unique situation that you don't normally hear of. I have a kindergarten teaching brother down in inner city Atlanta. My brother Ryan and I get to speak together as well. He uses a lot of music in his classroom over the years in his urban setting of a school. So we have a neat relationship there. And then I also have taught with 3 male kindergarten teachers, which I think is always just a unique snippet to share. Because people wouldn't know that unless I told them.
So unique. And I remember when you first told me that, I was the same. I'm like, no way. You're like, yeah, it really is. And then I was fortunate to hang out with you and your brother in Vegas 2 years ago. And you guys that are watching, if you ever get the chance to go see them speak together, don't miss that chance. I know you're doing a keynote coming up for SDE in Virginia, right?
You got it. December 10th.
December 10th. Yeah. So if you're on the East Coast and Virginia area and you want to hit up a good conference, SDE's Virginia K conference is going to be an amazing event, and you get to see Pete and his brother do their keynote talk, which is just unbelievable. And I really do love it that you have that team of kindergarten males around you, which, like you said, it's unbelievable unless someone actually knows is true.
Yeah, yeah.
I want to go back to what you said about parents, and I want to tell a funny story before we get into your channel stuff. I remember when I met up with you in Illinois. You and I did our conference together 2 summers ago, and we got to present together, which I was honored to be able to do with you. And you told me that I asked about your shirt you had on, because you were wearing your Harry Kindergarten shirt, and you said, I love wearing it because it sparks up conversations in airports. And you had told me you had a conversation with a mom in the airport that day whose son or daughter saw your shirt and recognized it as a logo and something from their classroom.
Yeah, yeah. Which is funny because honestly, I don't really share the YouTube page a whole lot, considering like the gravity of it. Like I kind of just try to lay low and let it just kind of market itself or whatever. But I saw a child in the airport terminal who said, "You're the guy that does the pirate song," which I thought was hilarious.
That's awesome. Very cool. Well, let's go into your channel a little bit, and I want to go back to what you said about the learning experience. And one thing I know that you are proud of, because I've talked to you about this before, but also that I love using your videos for, isn't just the learning experience when it comes to curriculum, but the management side of it too. And you have such a good knack of writing these, and I think that's something that maybe people don't understand, is that you write all of this. You write the lyrics, you write the music, you do the PowerPoint slides, everything. I mean, he does it all, guys. And one of my favorite things about you is how quickly you've even done it for me live before. I've seen you do it. We've talked about it, how quickly you can come up with a jingle in your head or a jingle in your classroom that will help manage your students in some way. And I think when teachers realize how easy that is, hearing it from a professional like yourself, that's something they then take back to their classroom. So do you have one that you'd like to share with us that you don't have a YouTube video for, but something that you love using music for all the time?
Yeah, well, actually, let me share, before I share one of those, maybe I'll share a YouTube video that I do have that kind of has just come out of the natural needs of my classroom, because that's what I really do. It's like here, I was in this room right here today. This is my kindergarten classroom. And you just have perceived needs, whether it be character education kind of needs, whether it be academic needs, where kids just aren't getting a certain concept. So every day I'm literally thinking, how could this turn into a song? How could this turn into a video? I know that several years ago, what I didn't like in my class was that I had certain students who were turned around the other direction and facing the complete opposite direction. And I was so offended that these 5-year-olds were looking at the wall and not at the speaker. And so that kind of inspired me to write this song called Look at the Speaker. So I went, look at the speaker with your eyes. Look at the speaker with your body, guys. And so we practice looking at the speaker, whether it's the teacher, an adult, or a child, a student. And so it's become a natural song that we do at the beginning of the school year in my kindergarten classroom, but it's also an attention getter we now use that goes, look at the speaker, and they go, with your eyes. And so the same thing with academic things. Many years ago, my kids were having trouble with teen numbers all the time. I wanted them to write 16 and they're writing 61. I wanted them to write 13, they're writing 31, and so forth. And so one of my students jokingly, well, not really jokingly, she said to me, well, Mr. Harry, we would be getting this if we would write a song for it. And so that night I wrote the song Numbers in the Teens. They start with a 1. Come on, everybody, this is the motion we do. Come on, everybody, let's get this done. Numbers in the teens, they start with a 1. And so just out of that perceived need, the song came. And then actually, not even just in my classroom, the needs, but even the needs of other teachers. So I like to talk with other teachers and educators on Facebook. And sometimes they're saying, well, can you make a song about this? Or I'm having trouble with this. And so it's out of their perceived needs. In fact, even with like Numbers in the Teens, there was a teacher who I'd never met before that said, well, your Numbers in the Teens song talks about how to write numbers, but what about the concept of place value, like one group of 10 and 4 extra ones? And so then I tried to make that song. We made, I don't remember how it goes. My place value version of Numbers in the Teens, where it talks about a group of 10 and so many extra ones. And so I'm really just trying to serve the educational community and to serve the needs of my actual 18 kids I have in my classroom every year.
I love that about you. I'm so glad you said that, because I think what people forget sometimes when someone has a YouTube channel that has blown up like this, that number one, you are still a real teacher. And the fact that you said you just want to help the educational community is one of my favorite things. And that's what we've gotten to do through staff development for educators and share this knowledge. And I will say, I'll vouch for him on the seeing what teachers need, because quite often you'll put out on Facebook and say, getting ready to write a song about this, what do you guys need to know? And you look for people's advice. And I love that about you, that you're willing to go out of your way to create for others, which I think just says a lot about you as a person and a teacher.
Yeah, well, I always feel like I'm telling my students to be role model students, and I feel like I'm a role model as a teacher. And one of the things I try to role model with them is just generally serving others, not just ourselves. And that's one of the reasons about 90% of my videos on YouTube are for free. I didn't make them for anybody to see them. I made them because I needed my kids to be more engaged. I didn't make them for any other teachers in other buildings to use them. I made them because I wanted my kids to be engaged. But now that I know people have found them, that they've kind of accidentally gone viral, I really wanted to use the opportunity to just serve others and to serve whatever needs are out there.
Right. And then one thing I want to point out, and correct me if I'm wrong, I know you're a fantastic musician. I've seen you play the piano. You're amazing at it, but you don't play an instrument in your classroom. You sing these jingles and just sing them, correct?
You got it. Well, I record them and then I play them on a screen or an iPod.
Well, yeah, you play your channel, but I think that's where some teachers get discouraged sometimes because, like, well, yeah, he writes amazing music and jingles, but he's also a musician. You don't have to be a musician, guys, to do this. You don't have to play a guitar or a piano to do what he's doing. Just think of what your students need and create that jingle in your head. And if not, head over to his channel and you'll
I've created the music for you. You can just use it,
Yeah. So let's talk about I want to go to one of my favorite songs, and I want to really dive into the learning curriculum side of it. Two of my favorite songs of yours that I put on all the time. A lot of the questions that I get asked on Facebook in our Ask, Share, Teach Facebook group through SDE is, send me a playlist. I want to know what music you guys are playing. What music are you using at this time of day? And I always share with them my morning music playlist, which I made on YouTube, which features quite a bit of your music, but two of them for sure, and it's your sight word songs. And I love them because one of the things, my wife and I were just talking about this the other night, how you can easily tie reading into music and just give kids cues all the time. And I don't think I really realized it until I started using the songs, how many, maybe if all of your videos include the lyrics on the screen. And I don't think people understand what a big impact that has when it comes to young readers. And my kids, I'd put those sight word songs on in the morning. And guys, if you don't know what they are simple sight word songs that spell the word and then say the word. Spell the word, say the word. And he repeats it, and they're amazing. And I could see my kids, they'd watch the screen and then they go back doing their play or work, whatever they're doing. And I just had that auditorily going in the classroom. But then they started to connect the letters with the word, and it's such a cool tool for young readers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, my brother actually had a part in kind of creating that song because while he was teaching kindergarten down in Atlanta, he's got this humongous sound system in his kindergarten classroom. He's got a live wireless mic like you'd have in a big presentation for his small kindergarten class. And he would put on hip hop, like instrumental music in the background, and he would have kids spell it, or he would spell them and they would shout out it. They would shout out the word, the sight word, or vice versa. And so he came to me and said, I love doing this live in my classroom with the wireless mic. Can you do something to make it visual? And so it's what you just said. It's putting the lyrics to it. It's letting kids, some kids know all those words.
Right.
Some kids know none of those words. And so even for the lowest of students, academically wise, they can maybe catch some of it. They can catch something that's in the text, that's in the lyrics of the words that I'm singing. I think it's really helpful. Totally.
And not even just that one song. I mean, all of your music from, counting by tens to the teen numbers you talked about, there's always that visual for the kids, which is awesome. Because I brought up counting by tens, the climbing the mountain, counting by tens, because you show, blocks of tens, and they see so many different forms of the number in those songs. It really is a learning experience when you use this music. So thank you for doing that. It's helping teachers all over the place.
Yeah. And honestly, that's a philosophy I just generally have in my classroom, is that I want they're 5 years old. They can't see what I'm doing, and they need to see it big. They need to see it moving. They need to see it in an interactive way. And so, like, I used to hate, can you see my calendar? Can you see my calendar over there? I'll just walk over.
We're gonna see you guys getting a new look tonight on Never Stop Being a Student Live. This is perfect. We're gonna be the student. Look at that.
That's my wall calendar, but I mean that's not what I use to teach calendar. I use this huge 70-inch plasma screen because kids need to see things big. They need to see things in their face. I want it to be in a way that they can interact with it, kind of dramatic way. So my calendar time is big on a screen, and then it's integrating the music and the technology into that calendar time. And really my whole day is on a PowerPoint from start to finish. And not that kids can't always be in front of a screen. Obviously that's not healthy or appropriate, but a lot of my day happens interacting on that screen back and forth in a big way.
I'm so glad we got to see your room too. One of the things that Lori, and I didn't mention Lori tonight, guys, Lori is in the chat answering questions. So if you're posting things below, make sure you're watching that. She's there answering questions for us. But one of the things Lori and I have talked about a lot is we want to show off classrooms like this because, like you mentioned at the beginning, you are a teacher. And I think people forget that sometimes, that all these wonderful presenters that we're talking to, they really are classroom teachers. And this is an SDE classroom right there. Someone who does it talks about it and shares it. So thank you for showing that.
You got it.
How's it going, little Reggie?
Coming to my classroom.
I'm so glad you brought him out.
You're a great interviewer.
Thanks. You're a great interviewee.
Thanks.
So tell us about yourself. Why are you on the video, Reggie?
Oh, well, I like to get kids engaged, and sometimes when they don't want to pay attention, they'll pay attention to moi.
I love this.
See you later.
See ya. I was waiting for the opinion. Thank you.
No, but honestly, like, you go to, you know, I take my own kids who are 7 and 4 to a story time at a library. What are they using? Puppets. What are they using? Stuffed animals. What are they using? Things that are developmentally appropriate for that age. And so whether it's, to me, all these things we're talking about tonight are what engage young children. Puppets, music. They're into technology. And so I like to, those are like kind of my 3 things I really like to integrate. Of course, music being the most.
I love the puppet though, because you're right, and you don't see that anymore in classrooms. You really, I mean, I'm not knocking teachers that don't use them, but it's one of those things that has kind of fallen out of the everyday use in a classroom. So I love it that you do that. You need to create a show with him. There should be a special YouTube channel for little Reggie. He could have his own channel.
Show you one more thing in the classroom.
I do, yeah. And then I'm going to ask you a question I'm going to put you on the spot.
Yeah, you got it. Can you see this okay? Can you see the door right here?
Yep.
Okay. So one of the things that we do in my class is we line up at this door right here. You can see that's my door that says "We Are Family" right there.
Love that.
And so when we line up, you know, normally kids line up right in the middle of the door. And then if they line up in the middle of the door, they end up walking the whole way back and banging right into this whiteboard right here, this easel board. And so one of the things I've done musically wise is to create a little jingle. This is not like a Harry Kindergarten YouTube song. This is just kind of a song I use in my classroom to engage students when we're in transition. And so I put on hip hop music. And then so we go, don't forget to line up straight, kids. You see, you have to line up where the Post-it is. And so we sing that many times when we come up to the door so that we know that if we line up on that left-hand side where the Post-it is, we're going to actually not bump into that easel board over there. And so it's just a simple way to use music, but just to kind of have a classroom environment. I don't know.
I love that. It's simple, and how easy for a teacher to do that. That's so good. Very good. Cool. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
All right, I want to put you on the spot because, like I said, one of the questions I get asked, and I am put on the spot, you guys. I did not talk to him about this beforehand, but I did mention, and I kind of just came up with this. I get asked a lot about playlists. So if you had to give someone came to you and said, "All right, I need a playlist of Harry Kindergarten songs from your channel. I need a morning music, a reading song, a math song, a management song, and maybe like a transition." So 5 songs. What do you got?
Oh man. Well,
let's start with morning music, like something to start your day.
Something to start my day. If you're a kid, dance around, dance around and stop.
I love that one, and I love it when we get to do that together at conferences that we've done, and we get to see teachers dance that song. It's so fun. Love that one.
That's
starting your day. What about a
popular song? But it's definitely following directions. It's a great start your day kind of song.
You know, I'm glad you mentioned following directions too, because at my school, our social worker who does little social lessons with our students every month, that's one song she always uses at the beginning of the year with our kindergartners when she works on direction following. So awesome. You're not just being used by kindergarten teachers, my friend. That's awesome. All right, so reading or ELA?
Okay. I've got a song called Learning My Letters. It goes, learning my letters, learning my letters, learning my letters from A to Z. And the end of that song, well, actually, let me tell you the beginning first. It goes A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So it's not your traditional alphabet, although you're obviously going through all 26 letters. H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. And so it's kind of rapping the letters instead of singing them traditionally. But I like at the end of the song, we kind of do cross body punches in my class. I don't necessarily say that in the song, but we're seeing the name of the letter pop up, and then we're doing the sound of the letter. So it's A, I, B, B, C, K, and so on. And that's really, every time I go to a conference for kindergarten teachers, it's always being talked about crossing the midline for brain, you know. for neuroplasticity and all those other big words that you guys love. And so it's a letter song. It's an alphabet song that contains the crossing the midline.
Very cool. Love it. All right. So we got If You're a Kid, Learning My Letters, favorite math song.
Math song, man, that's a hard one to pick, my brother.
Yeah, I told you I'm putting you on the spot.
I would have to say that people usually talk to me about my pirate song. So I have When You Add with a Pirate and When You Subtract with a Pirate. I think both of those songs are good because kids love pirates.
Yep.
And they love to, they love the little pirate jargon. And so if people that are watching this have not seen that either of those are songs that have pirate themed stories for addition and subtraction. And so they're seeing things like treasure maps, and they're seeing things like pirate ships and pirate parrots, etc., in the context of those math and subtraction stories.
Very cool. All right. What about like a transition? So I know you kind of sang your jingle to line up, but do you have any good transition songs for a teacher that's maybe closing down stations, coming back to carpet time, something?
I could tell you every day I start with the same song. We do our Pledge of Allegiance to the flag, et cetera, and we play Come to the Carpet every single day. So that's one they can find on YouTube. It's Come to the Carpet, use your walking feet. Come to the carpet, moving to the beat, and so on.
Very cool. All right, and last one. What about closing out a day? Do you have any good song? I know, like, if you're a kid dancing around, want to get them up and moving for the day. Do you have anything good to just, end your day on a positive note, send them out the door smiling?
Well, you know what? I like to end the day a lot of times on whatever theme we've done, because at the end of my day is thematic unit in my school. And so a lot of times I'm trying to revisit the same types of songs for that theme. So like, for example, this week and next week, we're doing a whole apple, the life cycle of an apple tree unit. And so I'm doing all sorts of apple songs. And at the end of the day, if we have a few extra moments, we're going to return to those theme songs. So I've got 5 red apples. I've got I love apples. And even, can I mention one more thing that actually isn't music?
I know what you're going to talk about. I was going to say the same thing because I know what you're going to say.
Many documentary videos,
yes,
that are on my YouTube channel that aren't necessarily music videos, but they're videos of me. Again, like, I'm a real person, and so I like to use my own family, my wife, especially my young children who are 7 and 4, Justice and Paxton. And so, like, I have a whole series of videos on my YouTube channel that is of us planting apple trees in my backyard. I've got a whole series of videos that's of us going to the pumpkin farm. I got a whole series of videos of a variety of things, talking about the butterfly life cycle and having butterflies in a net and raising butterflies. So there's all sorts of little, I would call them mini documentaries. Some people don't necessarily realize that those videos exist out there on my YouTube channel because they're just used to the musical ones.
Right. And that was what I was going to say. When we talk about your channel here in a minute and where to find it, I was going to encourage people to go on there and just explore, because you are right. There's not all music. And I'm so glad you brought the Apple one, because I do use that in my classroom. And those of you who do an Apple unit, there's great things out there, maybe through other like science type sites and whatnot. But the thing about Pete's video with apples and his little mini documentary, as he calls it, is he talks to the students. It's not just teaching them about the life cycle of an apple. He's really speaking to them. And my kids are always so engaged in that video. They love it and they learn so much from it. So keep those coming, because those are really, really cherished by the teachers that use them. I know they are.
You realize I'm making it for actual real students.
Right.
I'm still a kindergarten teacher. And so like when I make an apple tree video, I'm thinking like tomorrow I'm going to show this video to my real class. We watched some of the videos today in my kindergarten classroom, and they said, "You're going to make another one." I said, I don't know if I have another idea. How much can I say about apples? And then I came up with this idea with a friend, and we might actually make one for next week. And so again, it's just coming out of perceived needs. Like, what else can we do on this topic? So,
well, thank you for taking care of us. I love that. All right. So people who, I know this is probably a silly comment to make, but people who don't know where to find you, what's the easiest way to get to that awesome YouTube channel of yours?
Sure. Well, the actual address is youtube.com/Harry Kindergarten. But usually if I see some random parent that I've never met at a park and they have a 3 to 8-year-old and I want to tell them real quick, I just say, go onto YouTube and search Harry Kindergarten, Harry. That's the fastest way. It'll all pop up.
Very good. And guys, really do. If you have used the music and loved it, you know what I'm talking about. If not, go check it out. But even if you've used the music, do yourself the favor, go on to Pete's channel, Harry Kindergarten, not Pete, Harry Kindergarten's channel, and really explore. Because that apple tree video that I used came out of me exploring for something on his site. So you're going to find a lot of cool stuff on there other than just the songs you always use. Like he mentioned, If You're a Kid, Get It, Dance Around is one of his top played videos, but there are so many more like it that you're absolutely going to love. So I guess that unless you have something else to say, Pete, we can close it out there.
Well, I thought of just one last thing. And I hope that this is like authentic for teachers watching this, is that I've really, as a teacher myself, I know the push in my school right now, mathematics wise, is number sense.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's one of the things I've shared at a lot of conferences recently, is that I've tried to make, especially math themed songs have a number sense emphasis. And so, like, for example, when I do the song, how many days are in a week? 7, 7. I want to show 7 tons of different ways. I want to show 7 fingers. I want to see 7 dots on a 10 frame. I want to see 7 on the calendar. I want to see all these numbers shown different ways. And so one of my goals as I continue to make songs and continue to make, especially math content, is to show things in different ways so that they see, especially in math, that numbers aren't just numbers, but numbers can be shown in all these varieties of ways.
Very cool. Great to mention that. Yeah. And if you want to hear more like that from Pete, guys, make sure you hit up that Virginia conference. Any chance you get to see him speak, I guarantee you are not going to be disappointed that you took the opportunity to go listen to Pete and his brothers speak whenever they do. For more information on that, make sure you visit our site, sde.com, search PD events, and you can find out where Pete and all of our fabulous presenters are. But for tonight, make sure you go visit Harry Kindergarten Music on YouTube. Spend some time tonight making your playlist up for your classroom tomorrow and get them jamming. And just thank you, Pete, so much. I really do appreciate taking time out of your day to do this, because I know you got those little ones at home. So go kiss them good night, and we will see you soon, my friend.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, everybody.
See ya.